ATP Rankings Update. Carlos Alcaraz leads the charge. Jannik Sinner seeks a late-season surge. The ATP rankings barely shifted this week, but still, the men's tour feels anything but static. With the US Open now in the rearview mirror and the season's final stretch on the horizon, the stage is set for a showdown at the very top. Still, with the Davis Cup qualifiers providing a handful of storylines and the season now entering its decisive stretch, the battle for year-end supremacy is beginning to sharpen. Carlos Alcaraz in control at the top. At 21, Carlos Alcaraz already feels like a monarch born for this moment. With 11,540 points, he not only leads the ATP rankings but also projects an aura of inevitability. His victory at the US Open was more than a slam triumph. It was a statement of dominance, proof that his explosive blend of shot-making, speed, and swagger belongs permanently at the top. Jannik Sinner lurks just 760 points behind at 10,780. On paper, the chase looks manageable. In practice, it is a mountain climb. The Italian must defend a heavy haul of 2,830 points, including his Shanghai Masters and ATP Finals titles, while Alcaraz defends just 1,000. For Sinner to unseat the Spaniard, he will need not only to defend what is his but to seize new territory with a title in Paris, the last fortress of big points before Turin. An unchanged top 10. Though the race for number 1 dominates the headlines, the rest of the top 10 are not without intrigue. Of course, with no ATP tournaments this week, Alexander Zverev is secure at number 3 and has quietly pieced together a year of consistency. Novak Djokovic, one place behind, remains the great unknown. His name is penciled in for the Shanghai Masters, but at 38, every appearance comes with a question mark. Then there is Taylor Fritz at number 5, steady and stubborn. He spent the weekend in the trenches of Davis Cup, representing the United States, only to see his nation fall to Czechia after defeating Jakub Mensik 6-4, 6-3, but losing to Yuri Lehecka 6-4, 3-6, 6-4 as the Americans lost the tie 3-2 overall. His ranking remains intact, his reputation as a fighter undimmed. Behind them, Ben Shelton's injury clouds what should have been his breakthrough autumn. Jack Draper, at number 7, looks increasingly like Britain's next headline act but also is plagued by an arm injury. Alex de Minaur, Lorenzo Musetti, and Karen Khachanov round out the top 10, a reminder that this generation's depth extends far beyond the two men battling for the crown. Who benefited from challengers? While the aristocracy of tennis sat mostly idle, the challenger circuit buzzed with opportunity. Juan Manuel Cerundolo seized the Guangzhou title, toppling former top 20 player Alejandro Tabailo and climbing to a career-high number 72. Tiago Agustin Tirante triumphed in Szczecin, vaulting 22 spots back into the top 100 at number 94. Emilio Nava, without even striking a ball last week, slipped into the top 100 for the first time, proof that sometimes progress arrives by the shifting of others. Joining him at new peaks are Kamil Majkrak, number 61, Valentin Royer, number 88, Filip Misalik, number 92, and Tristan Schoolkate, number 95. Lastly, in action was the two-time Swiss Grand Slam champion Stan Wawrinka. His runner-up finish at the Rennes Challenger carried him back to number 137, a small step but a poignant one. At 40, the Swiss no longer scales the mountains he once conquered, yet his resilience speaks louder than any statistic. He unfortunately fell to the top seed and home favorite in Rennes, Hugo Gaston, 6-4, 6-4. What to expect in the next few weeks? As the tour shifts eastward, the Asian swing looms as the crucible where this year's rankings race may be decided. This upcoming week, there is still not much major ranking-defining action, as the Laver Cup will take center stage alongside a couple of 250s in China, such as Chengdu and Hangzhou, for those looking to get an early start on the Asian swing. The week after, ATP stars will have the chance to gain some solid points with 500 events in both Tokyo and Japan, followed by Shanghai as the first true battleground and the first 1,000 points after the US Open. A strong run there could all but end the suspense for Alcaraz. For Sinner, it is the gateway to survival, the first of several hurdles he must clear flawlessly. Beyond Shanghai lies Paris, a city where champions are made and crowns are often confirmed. Then, finally, Turin hosts the ATP Finals, where the season's story concludes and the year-end number 1 could either be secured or spectacularly stolen. Overall, whether the year ends with Alcaraz cementing his reign or Sinner completing a daring coup, one thing is certain: the battle for 2025's final word is truly still there for the taking.